Welcome back to our series, The Art of Soft Skills.
Today is about how we handle it when a patient or anyone in person or on the phone is not happy.
I don't know why I'm feeling this deep aching sense of dread.
We've all felt that way walking in or picking up the phone to speak with an upset patient.
I for sure remember that feeling in my early days in practice, that anxiety I would feel, which is why we're so excited about today's session, because at the end of the day, you will feel confident in your ability to handle and soothe anyone. When someone's upset, what do we do? How do we de-escalate when we don't have a solution? What's the secret to staying calm when someone is completely irate? When do we handle it or escalate to a manager? What do we do if a manager's not available? How do we make a patient happy when we're not in the wrong and they're being unreasonable?
This is about you. Put away distractions, get a full glass of water or a cup of coffee. Let's take a breath, pause our busy doing to be in this moment, upskill and enjoy it. Today we'll start with mindset like we always do. You'll feel clear on your goal with upset patients, how to reach that goal, why people are really upset, what they need to feel from us, and 6 simple steps we use to soothe.
We'll also put it all together at the end to show how easily it fits together so it feels really good. Be sure and print your handout in the resources section to follow along as we go, and we'll also have a cheat sheet there for you.
By the way, you should have already met us in the Art of Soft Skills Foundation Masterclass, but if for some reason you haven't, we dropped the intro in the welcome section of this upskill. Pause and allow us to properly introduce ourselves and share our story first before you continue. This is our most requested topic, so we have a series in our weekly upskills that break out each point from today and will be a great refresher when you get there.
Or if you've already passed that series in the weeklies, today we'll bring it all together in one clear session. It'll feel really helpful. This is for everyone who interacts with people. If you do, then you're going to have someone who's upset at some point.
Everything here applies if you speak with someone who is upset and help them over the phone or in person. First things first, we have 2 goals for this exchange with an upset patient. Our first goal is to retain the patient or caller. We don't want to lose them. Our second goal is to repair the relationship and/or their perception of us.
Retain and repair. If we can't do both, if they do choose to leave our care, then at the very least we want to repair the relationship or perception that the patient has of us. They may not feel we're a good fit anymore, which is 100% their choice, but we can at least strive for them to believe that we do care. The reason this is so important is because if a patient is unhappy with an experience, but at the end of the day feels that we care, they are far less likely to go leave a bad review online or in a survey or say negative things about us to others. Studies actually back this up. As you may remember from the Art of Soft Skills, how they feel treated by our team is the #1 reason patients leave happy or unhappy reviews or even file malpractice claims. So you can see we're back to feelings.
It's all connected back to those 3 things we need people to feel, our 3 core emotions from our methodology that we shared in our Foundation Masterclass. If we make the patient or caller feel connected, you see me, informed, you hear me, and safe, you care about me. Now, this interaction, no matter what happened to upset them, no matter what the fix is, then we have a shot at achieving our goals, retain and repair.
So to do this and to make our patient feel those 3 emotions, what do we have to do?
You remember this from our Foundation Soft Skills session. We have to be a patient whisperer and use our skills of persuasion and conversion.
Remember how we talked about the power of knowing how to persuade, convert, and sell? In this case, we're converting frustration into satisfaction, or maybe disappointment into contentment, fear into confidence or trust, anger into understanding, and we're selling the caller or patient on trusting that we do care and the belief that we are on the same team. And we do this through persuasion, influencing another person's thoughts, attitudes, or behaviors by using logic, emotions, or credibility.
That is how we're going to make patients feel. You see me, you hear me, and you care about me, and accomplish our goals to retain the patient and or repair perception or relationship.
These goals are so important. We take pride in what we do and our reputation. But as we've already discussed in the Foundation Masterclass, perception is reality. If someone's upset upset with us or their experience and we fail to repair their perception, then to them, we are what they think we are. We are their perception of us. Not only that, but perception spreads like wildfire and becomes your reputation. Get this, according to research, a dissatisfied person will tell between 9 and 15 people about their experience. Happy people who get their issue resolved tell about 4 to 6 people about their experience.
It doesn't take a mathematician to figure out that turning around someone's experience and having them tell 4 to 6 people that you handled things great is better than having someone tell 9 to 15 people that they think you're the worst. One unhappy negative review can drive 22% of patients away, and 90% of people will change their mind about a referral if the provider has bad, poor, or weak reviews. So the stakes are high. When someone is upset, it's our job to do everything in our power to retain or repair.
Here's how we're going to do it.
We're going to be able to feel really confident that we can do all of this using our soft skills and focusing not just on the technical problem, which is our default, but also on the experience, which is great because the experience is in our power to influence.
Sometimes we can't technically fix something, but we can make someone feel better now if we know how. Our hard skills are where we may or may not be able to fix the problem, but our soft skills won't ever let us down. This is where we listen, understand, and show we care.
Even if we fix the problem, if it's just about the transaction, our patient or caller feels like, okay, they fixed their problem. That's the least they can do, and may still feel upset. Versus when we are focused on the experience, that makes them say, I feel better. They actually do care.
When it comes to handling someone who's upset, no matter what the reason is, we've got to get our minds right. You know, we always start with mindset, and it's really key here. The energy and confidence that we bring with us makes or breaks the whole situation. I speak from personal experience.
When we are clear on how to show up, the other person can feel it and it instantly changes the dynamic. Now, if we don't have a strong mindset, it'll be a snowball of bad energy. We'll feel defensive, reactive, or timid and apologetic, and everything goes downhill.
In my practice, I was the person everyone would call to tap in with an unhappy patient, family member, transfer unhappy callers to. I remember that anxiety and dread. I would feel it as I walked down the hall or took a deep breath and answered that transfer. But after learning what patients really want and need to feel, and after forming a compassionate but really strong mindset, I was able to grow into someone who felt purpose, passion, and even opportunity in these situations. This mindset will help you too.
First, we can't start off by accepting defeat. For a lot of us, our default mindset is that if the patient is upset, then they've already made up their mind that we're the bad guy. They decided how they feel, and there's nothing we can say or do to really make a difference.
That is that negativity bias we've talked about before. It's naturally our brain's default. But if we have that underlying belief or fear, we will set ourselves up for failure. We have to believe that when a patient is letting us know they're upset, it's because they're giving us the opportunity to change the situation. They want us to show up and save the day and make them feel better. Next, we must believe we are on the same team. I remember my surgeon joking and saying, whose side are you on anyways, ours or the patient's? And I would joke back and say, the patient's, of course. But in all seriousness, in a great practice or organization, we are always on the same side, working together against the problem or perceived problem.
For example, even in those situations where a patient feels something negative and we know we did nothing wrong on our end, we're still on the same side.
Exactly. The patient doesn't feel good and doesn't want to feel that way. We don't want the patient to feel that way. We're both on the same team against the problem.
The next thing we must believe is it's not personal.
Oh, this is big. Unless you specifically have done something directly to anger this patient or caller, it's not personal. We're going to assume that you care and have the best intentions. So even in that case, it's their perception of your exchange, not actually you.
99% of the time, the patient is projecting their feelings onto you that are not related to you as a person. It's not personal. Their feelings are related to their perception of the situation or their perception of the practice. Or remember, oftentimes it's even something they're going through in their personal life that is being triggered or finding an outlet in this moment. How many times in life does stress build up and then we let it all out on something that isn't even a big deal, or we know deep down the other person didn't intend to upset us? Our projection of frustration wasn't personal. It didn't really have to do with them. It was triggered by something else we were going through. As we always say, people are dealing with real life challenges we know nothing about. So we can flip this and give someone who seems upset the benefit of the doubt.
Let's pull back out our Q-tip. Quit taking it personally. That makes all of this that we're talking about easy. We can calm the situation, isolate the problem, and find a solution in a rational way without taking it personally and getting emotional.
In the resources section, find the Q-tip sheet, print it out, and hang it somewhere you'll see it throughout the day as a reminder to quit taking it personally.
Why is this hard though? Because of our emotions, because of our feelings.
100%. When someone comes at us with a lot of emotions, we can feel ourselves start to physically react. Regulating our own emotions is the key to happiness and life in general.
It truly is. Learning to stop that reaction by telling yourself it's not personal, I think we've said it about 100 times, will help you not just with upset patients and callers, but also with teammates and anyone in your personal life.
When you walk into the situation with this mindset, it's not over. They want to feel better. We're on the same team, us against the problem we're feeling, and it's not personal. You will carry an energy into the moment that starts to diffuse and relax the situation right away.
Because when you're not already defeated, when you're on the same side and you're not taking a patient's frustration personally, you naturally don't feel defensive. And if you think about it, there's really no reason to be defensive. No matter what else has impacted this person, you know you're doing your best to serve your patients and genuinely care for their needs.